The Supplemental Security Income Program, which supports about 7.4 million low-income Americans, is once again in the spotlight. A new piece of legislation is gaining attention for proposing a significant change, raising the asset limit by a whopping 500%. Known as the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act, this bill aims to fix a long-standing issue within the program. But while it sounds promising on paper, many are left wondering if it truly addresses the core problem facing SSI recipients. Right now, SSI beneficiaries are limited to having no more than $2,000 in cash or cash equivalents as an individual, or $3,000 as a married couple. These limits haven't changed in decades, even as inflation and the cost of living have surged. The proposed legislation would raise those limits to $10,000 for individuals and $20,000 for couples, a five-fold increase. In theory, this would allow recipients to save more without risking their eligibility. Supporters argue that this is a much-needed update. With rising costs of housing, healthcare, food, and transportation, the idea that someone can survive with just $2,000 in savings is increasingly unrealistic. This new bill could also make around 220,000 additional people eligible for SSI, individuals who are currently disqualified because they've managed to save just a bit more than the allowed amount. But here's the critical question: how many current beneficiaries can actually afford to save any amount of money? As it stands, the maximum monthly benefit is $967 for individuals and $1,450 for couples. After covering basic needs like rent, groceries, medical expenses, and utility bills, many recipients are left with virtually nothing to save. Even the most frugal might only be able to tuck away $20 or $50 a month, hardly enough to build a $10,000 cushion in any reasonable time frame. So while this legislation offers a technical improvement, it misses the bigger issue. Beneficiaries don't just need permission to save more, they need higher monthly benefits that allow them to do so in the first place. Without increasing the actual payments people receive, raising asset caps may only help a small portion of recipients, primarily those with external financial support or unusual living situations. The idea of combining the asset increase with a boost in monthly benefits would make a real difference. If SSI payments were brought in line with the federal poverty line, around $1,340 per month for an individual, recipients could reasonably put aside $100 or more each month. Over time, this could help build emergency savings, cover unexpected expenses, and improve overall financial security. There's another aspect worth noting: momentum. This legislation isn't brand new. It was first introduced about 2 years ago and has been reintroduced several times. That suggests lawmakers see value in the idea and are trying to push it forward even in a deeply divided Congress. And it's part of a broader movement to update SSI, alongside other proposals like the SSI Restoration Act, which includes several long overdue reforms, such as removing the marriage penalty and adjusting income rules. Still, real change depends on more than good ideas. It requires political will, public support, and a focus on outcomes that matter to everyday Americans. Most beneficiaries aren't focused on saving, they're focused on surviving. They want to know how they'll pay rent next month, afford their prescriptions, or keep the lights on. For many, what they need most isn't a bigger savings account, it's simply more to live on, month to month. In short, the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act is a step in the right direction. But it's only one step. Real progress means raising benefits, modernizing the system, and treating recipients with dignity, not just checking a box to say something was done. The conversation is happening, and with continued pressure, perhaps more meaningful reforms are still ahead.